What is important to drive customers through a digital campaign process?
If I would mention one thing that is important to drive customers through an online campaign, I would say it's actually engagement. And when we talk an online campaign, there are different kind of online activities, as I mentioned earlier. So if there's a key factor, that would be actually engagement. How are people engaging with that campaign, with that banner, with that social post, etc. So and then there is of course a return on investment based on that. If customers are engaging with that banner, is that generating sales or is that generating branding? How can we attribute a value for that kind of engagement? Is that generating traffic that is later generating sales? So it's a bit different depending on what kind of campaign that is.
And you mentioned engagement as a really key factor in driving the customer through a digital campaign process. How do you engage the customers in the process?
Depending on what kind of activities, for some of the customers, that could be a dynamic retargeting banner, for example. They have seen a specific product and they are seeing the exactly same product again in a banner. That is seen for that specific customer, and there is something that can relate to. They have seen that product before, and they will click on it. That will generate higher click-through rate for them and hopefully higher conversion. For others that have never heard of us, then we're doing pre-targeting. We're trying to attract a new customer. This is of course driving up your customer acquisition cost, but in some markets we're pretty small, and then we have these kind of activities where we're trying to attract new people to our sites. And in this case, then you need to have very clear, unique selling points on the banner explaining this is a fashion shop online, it's free shipping, it's this, it's that, we have so many products, and try to get them in. In other cases, then there is an online activity, and when you're coming back to us, then we're showing you a message on our platform, depending on who you are. If you're a customer who haven't visited us for a while, or if you're a totally new customer, or if you are a VIP customer, a customer who's very good, having a high average order value, or that is not always buying on discount, etc. There's a lot of metrics we're looking at, but it's very, I would say, segmented, but we can always make it better.
So highly personalized based on the customer's earlier behavior, what they've been looking for on the internet, have they been customers before, etc.
Correct.
That really determines what messages they're shown.
Yeah, correct.
So what happens after a click on your banners?
Well, once again, depending on what banner that is, if that is a dynamic retargeting banner, then of course they are clicking on the product picture that they have visited before, they are going into that product, and yeah, they will basically enter the site and enter that specific product that they had. If it's a banner that is saying, "Hi, you haven't finalized your order. There is a drop basket. Your cart is waiting for you. There is 24 hours waiting for you. Please come back." Then we could, of course, we can give a small discount. We can give a small offer on top of that on our platform. We can communicate that on the banner. There are pre-targeting banners saying, "Hi, this is a new site in this country. Please come in. We will give you this." So either that message is delivered on the banner itself or on our platform. What else do you have? Yeah, very. It's a very big question due to the fact that there are so many different versions of banners. If we're talking only banners now, there is one new thing we're actually testing now, and that is trying to shorten the period. And this is on-site engagement, and this is about the user experience. When a lot of people haven't really decided whether they will buy, they're not very spontaneous in the way they're buying. They're looking at Trustpilot, for example, in Denmark, or they're looking at price comparison sites and so on. So we're trying to, we could actually, depending on who the customer is, we can actually tell them, if we see that the behavior is that they're leaving the site, we will say, "Hold on, we will give you this, or we will give you that, or there is this for you," or even motivate them. In some cases, we also tested live chat in the checkout process, where if we know that someone is stuck for over 90 seconds, for example, then there would be a real person saying, "Hi, do you need any help, by the way?" and so on. So I would say, we're testing a lot, and we are keeping whatever is working for a specific market.
So with this highly personalized way of doing things, is it even possible to describe a well-working campaign flow, or is that also totally individualized depending on the customer?
You mean for the consumer, or a process internally for us how to create the campaign?
No, I mean for the consumer.
No, that is depending, of course, on which campaign that is. But if you can ask about a specific example, I can give you that workflow.
For instance, when trying to acquire new customers.
Yeah. Well, that is one of the tough ones. When trying to acquire new customers, we're trying to look, and of course we're working with other external companies that are gathering a lot of data. So we're trying to, before starting doing banners, we need to know what kind of profile we're looking at, which target group we're looking at. And of course, if we have defined the pattern for it, then of course the workflow would be that a customer would see a banner that could be on display networks by Google, but that can also be in a newsletter from another company that could be distributed in many different ways. It could be within an app, for instance, and so on. It could be on your iPad, on your mobile. So there is no specific format for it. And then, of course, as I said, it's very clear, unique selling points and very clear message. This is a fashion online site now entering this market. You're welcome. And then if we see if there is a need, then of course there will be an offer on site, or there will be a message welcoming that specific person, as we have tracked that. And what we will be measuring on is of course traffic, but also at the end of the day, conversion and return on investment.